The brochure stated, "A holiday in Spain at a luxury villa for two." But there had been no mention of the visitor who wished to share the couple's food and accommodation, and he certainly wasn't there for sun and relaxation. It was September 1980, when Daniel and Isabel arrived at the villa in their open-top MG sports car. By now, it was late evening, completely dark, and the car's headlights brushed across the white stone walls of their idyllic house in the country as their car swung into the driveway area. They had travelled a long way, and their blood-red MG had gathered a considerable layer of dust on the journey, and so had their suitcases, which were strapped to the boot rack at the back. They were clearly well-to-do, an attractive couple in their mid-40s. They eased themselves out of the small car, legs stiffened by the journey, and brushed themselves down. Daniel was easily 6'2", with a strong athletic build and a shock of dark brown hair which he slicked back. He wore a dark velvet sports jacket, a check shirt with a stylish cravat, and his thick trouser belt tightly wrapped around his beige chinos, which perfectly complemented his polished leather shoes. Isabel looked elegant in her dark blue skirt and sapphire blue open-neck blouse. Her shortish red hair was perfectly trimmed, and her eyes gleamed in the darkness. Daniel banged the bonnet of the MG with his strong hands. "Well done," he loudly declares, congratulating the car for getting them both there safely. "I hope there's an iron," Isabel queries, coquettishly, in her middle-class voice of refinement. "A bath and a good night's rest," Daniel bellows across the courtyard, with his deep and confident voice resonating off the villa walls. Outside the villa, they both stand next to their car while the crickets chirp away in the distance, in the still night air. "Lovely," says Isabel, head back, sensing the cool air. "Jasmine," Daniel declares enthusiastically. "We're in Katana," Isabel corrects. "It's tobacco plants." "Let me introduce you to the grapevine, at last," Daniel announces with a sweeping gesture. Isabel plucks a grape straight off the nearby hanging vine and takes a bite. Her lips curl down, and she involuntarily screws up her attractive face at the sour taste. She stares at the bitten grape in her hand. "I told you that I was flustered when that policeman blew his whistle at me," she says. "That cost us another 30 miles at 90p a gallon," Daniel accuses her with good nature. "Here's the keys." Isabel dangles them in front of him. "Come on, let's get inside." Daniel unlocks the villa front door, and they both walk in. Isabel carries a lightweight straw holder with her. Moving through the front door, they switch the internal lights on. They're both now standing in a large tiled floor kitchen with rustic tables and old-style presses and surfaces. "The kitchen," Daniel declares, hands on hips while he struts around casually taking in their rented accommodation. "Converted farmhouse circa 1920. Ernest Hemingway is supposed to have worked at that window," he drones on in his strident voice, slightly questioning, as if he's quoting from the brochure as he scans around. Meanwhile, Isabel is transferring the contents of her straw bag onto a big wooden table and looking over her shoulder back at him approvingly. She appears to be enjoying her man's presentational patter. All part of the experience, the adventure. She giggles a bit, and he joins in with a self-satisfied look on his strong-jawed face. His controlled smile makes him look handsome. Her wide grin lights up her face and she becomes quite glamorous with her white and even teeth. And then her smile momentarily disappears and is replaced by a mock frown. With a sniff, she says, "A bit damp, isn't it?" with that screwed-up, disapproving face again. "All romantic," he replies, while caressing her shoulders from behind. He must be about 6 inches taller than her anyway. He gets rewarded with a wide-eyed smile, a smile of class and refinement. While Isabel is still unpacking her bag, they both notice a notepad on the table. Daniel picks it up and reads out loud the handwritten message. "Welcome. We hope you enjoy your stay." Daniel looks around and says, "I should hope so, the money we are paying." The note continues. "Mercedes, a local girl, comes in every morning at 10, or approximately 10. "What constitutes local?" Isabel asks in her posh voice, slightly laughing. Daniel, still with his cravat and jacket on, raises his arms above his head and fully stretches. "Whacked?" Isabel asks. Yeah, tired. Drive all night, they say, but not me," Daniel slurs. Well, we're here safe and sound. That's what matters." Isabel gazes at him. 3 miles to the local village. I'll believe Mercedes when we see her." "Mercedes? Spanish name?" Daniel asks. "Who knows?" Isabel replies as she opens the door of the fridge to put some food in from her bag. Outside the villa, out of the darkness, a portly and short man appears in the lit forecourt and walks quickly and directly up to the louver wooden shutters at the side of the building and tampers with the latch. Inside, the now relaxed couple are wandering around arm in arm, exploring the other rooms of the property, entirely unaware of the mysterious man outside who's wandering around. As they both stroll around the inside of the villa, they seem impressed by the big central fireplace in the living room area. Although Isabel points out a missing light bulb and dusty surfaces. "Cool reception," Daniel says, only half-jokingly. Daniel picks up an ashtray to closely examine the cigarette stubs it contains. Isabel notices the wooden window shutters and comments that they should keep out any mosquitoes.